Hello, welcome to myairgunreviews.com. My name is Kenny and I have set up this website and dedicated it to the review of affordable air guns. We will review air rifles, air pistols, pellet, and BB. We'll let you know how much fun you're going to get for your money or how much grief. We will also review some accessories, some upgrades, and fixes. We'll let you know if your money is well spent or wasted on these things. So let's get started with our next review. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be reviewing the Benjamin Trail NP XL1100 22 caliber nitro piston break barrel air rifle, rated at 1100 feet per second with alloy pellets and 950 feet per second using standard lead pellets. Gun retails anywhere from $279.99 from like Walmart, where you're going to have to pay sales tax, to an average of probably $299.99 at most of the online retailers. So it's a $300 air rifle. It is a powerful air rifle. It is a heavy air rifle. It's 48¼ inches long. Crossman says 8.5 pounds. Others say up to 8.8. But with the scope on it, I scale it in at 10.5 pounds. So it is heavy. It comes with a sling mount, and that does make it a little bit easier on this one. It's a really nice air rifle overall. It's got a steel jacketed barrel, which really cuts down on the noise. I measured the maximum decibel reading of 98.8, which is a little higher than others have recorded, but and it's also got a very nice welded on Weaver rail. Really simplifies your scope mounting, and you still will have to tighten the bolts on this. It does have a pretty good kick. This has a very acceptable scope on it. It's a center point 3 to 9 by 40 adjustable objective mil-dot scope. So even at 9 power, at say 20 yards, you can get a clear reticle and a clear objective all the way up to 9 power. The turrets are open, they're not capped, so it makes for quick and easy adjustments, even though you might actually move them a little bit when you're cocking. It depends upon your cocking style. It has a very nice, attractive thumb hole stock with raised cheek pieces for left and right. Nice recoil pad. It's a thumb hole type stock with really nice checkering on it. Very, very attractive. I really like the stock. You will have to either keep tightening your screws or use some Loctite on the threads. I ran out of the blue thread locker, so I had to keep retightening. All in all, it's a really nice rifle, with the one exception is Crossman's real crappy trigger. I'm doing this entire review with the original trigger. This one is better than the one on my Trail NP, but I did not bother putting a GRT3 trigger in it, because even with the GRT3 trigger installed, which makes the pull shorter and lighter, you still have no feel for the second stage. You just pull it as far back as you think you can go till you get your target sighted in, and then pull the trigger. So the triggers are still an issue with it, but like I said, this one is not as bad as my Trail NP was. This gun has a lot of recoil. Let me give you a little demonstration. I've flipped the rifle on its side so we have a little bit better light. You can see the engraving on the underside of the stock. Here you can better see the checkering on the grip and the emblem, and Crossman's crappy trigger. It's got does manual safety and not automatic, so you just press back on the safety and pull it back to shoot. There's the sling mounts for the back, and it's integrated into the cocking system up front, so it makes the rifle a lot easier to tote around. And like I said, I scaled it at 10.5 pounds, so it's hefty. It's an adult rifle. I have seen ratings of 45 to 47 pounds of cocking effort. This one's probably been shot 150 times now, and it is a lot easier to cock now than it was originally, and I just measured the cocking effort at 36.5 pounds, which is really not bad. So now I think it's time to get to the Chrony test, and then we'll go over the numbers, and then we'll take it outside and check its accuracy. We're going to start with the Crossman SSP 9.5 grain alloy pellets. Okay, we got a low of 1035, a high of 1095, an average of 1072, extreme spread of 60.04 feet per second, standard deviation 22.24. That's not too awful far off the 1100 foot per second mark. Okay, we'll now shoot with the RWS Hobby 11.9 grain pellets. Here we got a low of 913.2, a high of 921.7, an average of 917.5, extreme spread of 8.56, standard deviation 3.31. That's a little bit below the claimed feet per second, but it's pretty consistent for a lightweight pellet. I'm impressed with the consistency. Okay, you saw what the rifle did with the standard pellets for the alloy pellet test and the lightweight pellet test. For other pellets used, our most accurate pellet was the H&N Barracuda 21.3 grain. It had a low of 717.2 feet per second, a high of 729.6 feet per second, a standard deviation of 4.69, extreme spread was 12.45. Our most consistent pellet was actually a Gammo Match Diablo 15.43. It's like a wad cutter. We had a low of 874.3 feet per second, a high of 883.5 feet per second, average 879.1 feet per second, extreme spread of 9.19 feet per second, standard deviation 3.46. That pellet gave us 26.48 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The H&N Barracuda gave us 24.69. This rifle is claimed to have 28 to 30 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, but it does not meet that. Maybe if we broke it down and put a new piston seal in it and cleaned up the chamber so it was at its peak, we might get a little bit more out of it. A few other notables, Magnums. We got 23.68 feet or foot-pounds of muzzle energy. Air Arms Diablo Field Heavy 18 grains. We got 23.75 foot-pounds of energy. In the H&N Field Target 16.36 grain, we got 24.16 foot-pounds of energy. So there are several pellets out there that will develop between 23 24 foot-pounds of muzzle energy. The Gammo match, which gave us our best foot-pounds of muzzle energy reading, is not something that you can shoot beyond 20 yards. It's going to veer off being a wad cutter. But all in all, it is a very good air rifle. Now we're going to show you our accuracy test, and then we'll come and wrap it up. Okay, we'll be shooting at 20 meters, which is 62.5 feet. The first 5 shots will be H&N Barracuda 21.3 grain. And on the right target, we're gonna shoot a few of the Gammo match Diablo 15.43s. Okay, this rifle is a handful to shoot. It does have a lot of recoil. I can get some real consistent groups, but I've never gotten a 5-shot group that didn't have at least one flyer. No matter how many times I tried, I would always get at least one flyer in the group. But I've had that problem with a few other of the really high powered air rifles, so I think that's just something you have to contend with when you're using the Ultra Magnum type break barrel air rifles. You can get a lot of real consistent shots, real tight, but you are going to have flyers because they are very hold sensitive, and then you are also dealing with a so-so trigger on this rifle. For $300, I would think Crosman would put a better trigger on it. I don't know how many people have to beat them upside the head and rattle their cage and holler and scream before they get the message and start putting a better trigger in their air rifles. The Tech Force has a better trigger. All the Umarex rifles have better triggers. The Hotson has a better trigger. Why can't Crosman put a better trigger? They've got a really, really nice scope on here. I really like the scope. It's one of the best scopes you're going to get as a factory scope on an air rifle. You've got the mil-dot reticle, the adjustable objective, 40 millimeter, 3 to 9 power. They've done so many things right. Why, Crosman, can you not put a good trigger on a rifle that costs $300? For a nitro piston, it does pretty good. Like I say, it cocks much easier after 150, 200 rounds. I've got the cocking effort down to 36.5 pounds of effort. It does come with a really nice sling, and you need it. It's a 10.5 pound rifle. The bipod you see there, that's off the Hotson. great for display. Not good for much else, but great for display. So, Crossman, give us a good trigger. Thank you for watching this review. I just want to add one footnote that I am going to take this Benjamin Trail NPXL 1100 apart, and I'm going to tune it and see if we can get a few more feet per second out of it. I'll do the trigger mod, and then we'll give it another go. So watch for the update on the review of the Benjamin Trail NPXL 1100.